Part 32. Let's talk about coffee. Question number 1. Do you drink coffee? How many cups of coffee do you drink a day? Actually, for me, I don't like the taste of coffee. So I maybe drink 1 cup of coffee a year. I don't really like the bitter taste of it. So yeah, it has to, usually the coffee has to be combined with ice cream or a very sweet cream. So I would have to drink a coffee drink that was 20% coffee and 80% something else that makes it taste better, that 80% of something that I would enjoy and 20% coffee. That's basically the level of coffee that I drink in a year. Question number 2. When do you drink coffee? Do you drink it at the same time every day? I don't drink coffee, so like I said, so I don't drink it at the same time every day, but I'm going to actually say that I am addicted to caffeine. So to get caffeine, I drink either Coca-Cola or even an energy drink, Monster or Red Bull. I would say actually I drink maybe 1 Coke or a Monster within the first 2 hours of me being up, so I have some energy. And then usually in the evening, I'll have another one. So either a Monster or Coke. As well as if I go to a restaurant, I will order I usually drink Coke Zero because it has less calories than regular Coke and less sugar. Question number 3. Do you have any withdrawal symptoms if you don't drink coffee or caffeine? Yes, I've tried to quit drinking caffeine before. It has actually, after about 2 days of not drinking something, with caffeine in it, I start to suffer from headaches first, lack of energy and focus. And then, I start to go through withdrawals. So it's lethargic. So I have no energy. I'm not motivated. I don't have any sense of mind because even the headache starts to get severe. So on the 3rd day with having no caffeine, I really actually crave something sweet. And I even start to negotiate with myself that I can just go back to drinking it. I have had periods where I've actually quit with great suffering, but then maybe a month later, I've fallen off the wagon and have started drinking caffeine drinks again. Question number 4. Are you addicted to caffeine? If so, is that a problem? Yes, I am addicted to caffeine. It's a problem, but I've read a lot of studies on caffeine. Caffeine also has positive side effects. Sorry, it has positive effects, but also it has very few side effects. The positive effects of caffeine, it gives people energy, allows them to focus, and allows them also to get great bursts of energy, allows them to be creative. The only drawback of caffeine is once you're nursing yourself off it, you can develop caffeine withdrawal symptoms, kind of getting a headache and feeling lethargic. But it all depends on how addicted you are. I drink about 3 caffeine drinks a day, so I have a need for it. I am addicted. But I don't think it's a problem because, the side effects are very few. Question number 5. How do you like your coffee? Black or white? Sugar or no sugar? I don't like coffee, like I said. So I'll actually just tell you what I see in my day-to-day life. I have friends that actually drink coffee a lot. Usually my friends in Korea, my foreigner friends, they like their coffee just black, no cream and no sugar. So it's usually called an Americano. But in Canada, the people that I know, that like coffee, we have a certain lingo for it. So like usually they like their coffee with cream and sugar. So usually when they go to a coffee shop, you have your basic black coffee. Most people will order double cream and double sugar. And the way that they would say that is black coffee double, which means double cream, double sugar. And so they like creamy. Canadian, well, my parents come from the east coast of Canada. So actually in my house there was very strong tea drinking in my neighborhood. So most of the houses in my neighborhood growing up would always have a pot of tea brewing. And so that's also like how my parents would get caffeine, is just they would drink a mild tea drink that had caffeine in it. And they would have it with just milk. Question number 6. Do you like other foods or drinks when they are coffee flavored? How about coffee cake or coffee flavored milk? These things I am more likely to eat if something is coffee flavored rather than just coffee. So tiramisu, it has kind of a coffee taste to it. I don't mind it that much. Actually, the thing that I would have that would be coffee flavor is in Canada, we have a chocolate bar called Coffee Crisp. That was actually something while I was growing up that I grew up. So it had a mixture. It was chocolate bar, but then had a very creamy coffee taste to it. So I would eat that frequently as a child because it was very sweet. Anything else really coffee flavored? So for me to have something that would be coffee flavored, it would have to be very sweet. There are hard candies that I've seen that are coffee flavored, but that's not actually something that I enjoy because it has the artificial coffee bitter taste to it, which is something that I don't like. Even the bitter smell of coffee turns me off. Question number 7. What foods go well with coffee? Usually coffee is the first thing they have in the morning is coffee. So usually there's many different breakfast style foods that go well with coffee. Either like a sandwich, a bagel, a scone, coffee, as well as people when they go in Canada, if they go to a restaurant in the morning, they're having bacon, eggs, sausage with their coffee, and then they'll have coffee to go around with that morning breakfast. So usually people have, when I think about coffee, it's usually either like carbohydrates, or greasy morning things that go very well with it. As well, there's also smokers that I said the 2 best flavors that go well together are cigarettes and coffee. Both of those, I don't like both of those things, but just because I think that smokers, their morning habits, the first thing they need in their body is, the nicotine from the cigarette as well as so they're going through nicotine withdrawal and caffeine withdrawal. So when they have these 2 things in the morning together, it really accentuates both flavors, and they say it's one of the best combinations, cigarettes and coffee. Question number 8. Do you think you can seduce the opposite sex by drinking coffee instead of alcohol? No. I don't think that coffee is really a beverage that can seduce someone. Really, coffee is just kind of an instrument. If you're on a date in a coffee shop, that you can basically just something in the background that you drink while you're having the conversation. And really, it's not the coffee that is seducing the other gender, either a girl in my head, but actually my conversation. So usually people drink coffee very slowly, but if the conversation is not going very well, the other person might drink the coffee very quickly. So I don't think coffee is something that could seduce someone. just like any other beverage. It's not alcohol. It's not like beer or whiskey that seduces a girl, but actually the alcohol chemicals in that change the conversation. Caffeine won't change the conversation on a date. So no, I disagree. Question number 9. Do you go to the cafe for coffee or to study? For me, I go to the cafe to study. For me, I can't study in my house. There's just too many distractions and other things that I would do instead of studying in my home. So I often go to the cafe to study, but I don't go to a cafe for conversations with people. I go to drink coffee or to drink a beverage. Really, if I had a choice to drink something, I would actually choose just to be walking outside. So yeah, I guess this is something that's very different from like Western culture and Korean culture. Western people will usually drink coffee while they walk to either work or while they're in the park. Well, Korean culture, they kind of, I guess because the price of Korean coffee is expensive, there's kind of an included fee on the coffee, cafe fee on the coffee. Even in Canada, if you go to a cafe, cafes are actually very small. They have maybe 10 tables in it. More people get coffee takeout coffee from these places, and more people go to just basic coffee shops if they want to drink. And they're just meeting their friends or reading in the newspaper. It's not seen as a study location. So there's a big difference even between what cafes are used for in Canada and in Korea. Korea is more of a social environment for people to meet their friends and have conversations for a couple hours or do their studying outside of their dormitory or home for a few hours with their friends. While in Canada, it's not really people only stay in a cafe for 30 minutes. They'll either just drink their coffee, they'll take their coffee to go, or they'll drink their coffee very quickly and then go to the next destination. So there's a big difference about how cafes are used in the two countries. Question number 10. Where do you most like to drink coffee? Do you have a favorite cafe? So for me, again, coffee is not something I really enjoy. If I go to a cafe with someone, I would drink more of a milkshake style thing. And it would be probably, I would choose the cafe on ambience. I don't really like being in a big cafe. Something more cozy and small would be nicer if I'm going to have a conversation with someone. Because in Korea, all cafes really have coffee. The first thing but not many cafes have something other than coffee on their menu. I'm more sensitive. I'm more picky. Picky would be the word for the cafes I choose. So usually something that's small and cozy, that's quieter, not noisy with many people, as well as it would have to also have, because I'm picky, a better selection of drinks rather than coffee flavored stuff, either a milkshake, a tea, or some type of soft drink, Coke, a pop of some type, pop. It's a North American for soft drink, as well as, a view sometimes is kind of good. I don't really have a favorite cafe, but something that has those three elements, small and cozy, a selective menu outside of coffee, as well as a good environment with a great view. Those are the three things I would look for in a nice cafe. Question number 11. Do you think coffee is expensive? Then how much do you think is appropriate? Yes, I think actually coffee in Korea is extremely expensive. It's about twice the price I've seen of what it what it is in Canada. So usually a coffee here is about 4,500 won, about 1,400 won. Comparing that to Canada, a normal coffee would be around $1.80 just for a regular size, but then you can have a much larger size for about $3. Quantity versus price. Korea there's fewer selections for sizes, either 1 or 2 sizes, small and large. If you go to a coffee shop in Korea, well, a coffee shop in Canada, you have about 3, maybe 4 sizes. You have a small to large in most cafes, but then in busier places where people take out, you can have up to extra large. So I guess that's venti or something at a Starbucks. In North America, the people consume much more of things than in Korea. The sizes are much larger. Hi, everyone that's watching this. My name is Jeff. I am from Toronto, Canada. I've been coming to Qualcomm now for 2 years now. It's an amazing environment. I've met so many important people here. The atmosphere is great and friendly. There's not just Korean people trying to learn the English language, but there's also international people here too, trying to learn other international languages. I've met people from China studying Korean that I've also been able to speak Korean with. There's also groups of people that are studying Spanish here as well. It's just such an amazing thing. That's why I've been coming here for 2 years. So if you're interested in meeting not just the local people in Korea, but also international people that have international interests and want to share their culture, you should come to Qualcomm.